We're talking about graphing simple rational functions, and in this case, we want to talk about the function f of x in the form f of x equals a divided by x minus h plus k. So in this case, we'll set our denominator equal to 0, and that will be our vertical asymptote, and then our horizontal asymptote is whatever the k value is over here. So our vertical asymptote, we solve by setting that equal to 0. So x minus 3 equals 0, and we add 3 to both sides, and then we get x is equal to 3. So that will be our vertical asymptote. For our horizontal asymptote, all we do is whatever our k value is. So in this case, k is equal to 2. So our horizontal asymptote is y is equal to 2. And so I can graph those on the axis. And y equals 2, y equals positive 2 is up here. And x equals 3, positive 3 is over here as well. So we have x equals 3 and y equals 2. Those are the two asymptotes that we have. Now we pick points off of our vertical asymptote. So our vertical asymptote is 3. So we're going to pick points that are immediately to the right and immediately to the left. And so in this case, can't pick 3, so we can pick 5, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2. So we can't pick 3 because that won't work. So 0, 1, 2, 4, and 5. So basically all we're doing is we're picking points and figuring out what it would be. So if we substitute in 0, 0 minus 1/3 is negative, or excuse me, 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So 1/3, negative 1/3, plus 2 is 1 2/3. We substitute in 1 here. 1 minus 3 is 2. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. So it's negative 1/2 there. Plus 2, that becomes that becomes 1.5. 1 and 1/2. If we substitute 2 in, we get 2 minus 3 is negative 1. 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. If we substitute 4 in, 4 minus 3 is positive 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1, plus 2 is 3. And if we substitute 5, 5 minus 3 is 2, so we get 1/2. And 1/2 plus 2 is 2.5, or 2 and 1/2. And so when we go to substitute these in, we can plot these points. We get 0, 1 and 2/3. We get 1, 1.5. Then we get 2, 1, 4, 3, and 5, 2.5. So when we go to plot this, we know that the graph is going to get close to our asymptote without touching. And so we can draw close up here and then go through the points. And then it's going to decrease and get close without touching. Same thing over here. Then we need to talk about our domain and range. So our domain is the x values. That's defined everywhere except x equals 3. And so our domain will be from negative infinity to 3. 3 is not included. Then we'll start back up at 3 and go to positive infinity. And range is defined everywhere except y equals 2. So negative infinity to 2, union 2 to positive infinity. And then we can look at our graph and we see that we have the asymptote at x equals 3 and y equals 2, and we have our hyperbola graph.